Okay, there we are. Hey, hi there, folks, and welcome to the Real Idiots. Hey, look at this. We're on a video now.
Yeah.
That's pretty awkward. And this isn't even Mark. Hey, where are you, Mark?
I'm right here. What's going on, folks?
How's it going? So Mark's somewhere different. I'm here. Look at what technology has brought us. And this guy, this is Brian Jansen.
How did they get me? I don't even know.
I'm not sure. This is an awkward situation for all of us.
A lot of palms were greased on this one.
A lot of greasy palms. See, I'm disgusting. Just heinous.
Both are.
Yeah. And he's sitting very close to me, just to make this all work.
Yeah.
All right.
We're suffering for your viewing pleasure, guys.
Yeah. So this is our first video podcast. Obviously, we have the audio podcast. It's on iTunes. You guys can check it out. Just search Real Idiots is the easiest way to do it. But for now, we're going to start doing these on YouTube just so we can, I don't know, see people, so people can see us, to try and drum up some energy with our comedy careers. Huh?
Yeah, no. Well, you see a lot of these podcasts where you hear them but you have no idea what they look like, and it's like really disorienting.
Actually,
it's a little mystery, but I think some people want to know, what does this guy look like?
What
this
does
really backfire? Yeah.
Yeah, I should have come to your house, Kareem. But whatever, we're here.
All right, let's just get into it. Let's obviously we just had Comic-Con, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's just move right into it. But before that, new releases.
New Reeleases.
You got it.
First up, we got Get On Up. You probably can't even see this, can you? Yeah, there we go.
I don't think you're supposed to show them our crib notes of how the show should go.
I already posted it on Instagram, so whatever. Anyways, first up,
we're switching to video. We're supposed to be more high tech, and you're showing a whiteboard.
Look, you guys both wrote your lists in your head, and like Brian was like literally counting on his fingers. How low tech is that shit?
I have it on a second screen in notes, so we can look at it while we're doing the video podcast.
People at home are probably like, how do they come up? How did they remember all these things? And now you just spoiled it for them, like you took away the magic from it.
Guys, it's a board. It's a erasable board. This isn't a big deal. Let's get on with it, all right?
All right.
Get On Up, the James Brown biopic, starring the guy who was in 42.
Chadwick Boseman.
All right, good. You guys know names. You're on top of your games. I like it. That's coming out this week, and it's about James Brown.
Knocking it out of the park, Mark. Knocking it out of the park.
Brown returned from. Is he alive still? Is James Brown alive?
No, he's gone.
No, he died.
He came back from the grave for a cameo in this movie. That you're actually right, Peter.
The worst part is like, I actually really want to see this flick. Like, it does sound interesting. I like Chadwick Boseman. I love what he did in 42. Like, did you like 42?
42?
I thought it was a sick film. He's like a really underrated actor, and I want to see this, but obviously it's going to get overshadowed. And I think with the next coming weeks in the summer, I think the summer was kind of the wrong time to release it. I think they should have brought it into like September.
I think it's going to do well because it's doing the same thing that The Butler did last year, where it comes out in August. It's like Oscar kind of movie. It's dealing with something historical. It's complete counter programming to this little unknown Marvel movie coming out this weekend. Like, but they're not gonna get the same audience at all.
While that may be true, I think it should have come out later in August. Because really, after this week and next week, what is there? Like, I think like The Butler also came out later in August last year.
Yeah, right. It came out mid-August.
So I would rather see it. Like, I would go see it if it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. It
should have come out on the same weekend as Expendables 3, because then it really would have been completely different.
Yeah.
You screwed up, Hollywood. Whatever studio made that movie, we should.
I'm still gonna watch it at some point. Like, I have a thing for biopics. Like, Ray is like one of my all times. Like, I love like biopics, especially if they're guys who were civil rights dudes who did drugs. That's like my thing.
Black people overcoming adversity, man. It's my favorite genre of film.
Oh, what about you, Mark? You gonna see this?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm a huge not a huge James Brown fan, but I'm a fan of James Brown. I mean, like I said, man, you know.
This movie.
keep chuckling, guys. Keep fucking chuckling. No, it looks really awesome, and I agree with you as well. The same biopic kind of deal, like Ray and what's that? What was the Muhammad? Oh, Ali. I guess it's just their names usually, or the name of their song. So, yeah, no, it looks awesome.
I don't know much about James Brown, but in all these biopics, they add so many details about their family history that never happened, just to make things like the only thing true about the movie The Butler was that he was a butler. All the family story about his son dying, that never happens.
That is true.
It's not dramatic enough that he's like seen 5 different presidents or something. It's like, no, it has to tie into everything about America. It's just like, but then again, that's movie making.
Yeah,
that's the way it works.
Obviously, the big release this week is Guardians of the Galaxy. I've been waiting all summer for it.
Is it the big movie we can say?
What? Yes. What else? I don't know. Like, I think Sex Tape is in its like 5th week. But other than that,
I'm still on a Sex Tape kick, guys.
I
there's
don't
nothing
care.
else to
I'm going to be there. Like, I will be there.
course.
I'm going Friday. I'm seeing Guardians. I've been waiting for this film probably more than Captain America, and that turned out to be awesome. Like, really one of my top films of this year that I've been pumped about.
I'm incredibly pumped. Had you guys heard about Guardians of the Galaxy before? Like, it was a movie. Like, were you guys familiar with the comic books?
I was like familiar with the characters. I won't say that I like really read the comic books or anything like that, but I was familiar. I loved Rocket Raccoon. I liked like the Marvel universe, and then they played a big part in like the like the Marvel Civil War.
Yeah.
So I was like interested in them in that way, but especially Rocket. I mean, just Rocket sounds like he's a hilarious character, and I just have no idea how it's gonna work. And from everything I've seen with James Gunn, I just love in trailer 2, like that moment where he's just pulling on his junk. I'm like, that's the Rocket that I want to see. He's gonna be a little bastard, and that's it. I just like that's what I want to see a return to the space opera. I want to see like Marvel pulling it, like how they're going to do, because a lot of their stories do have to do with like space and weird, especially with the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how they can get us into space and make it like fun and realistic, because the biggest problem that we've had with superhero movies recently, like once they go to space, they've sucked. That's my personal opinion. Like,
are you saying Superman 4: The Quest for Peace was bad?
I will. Yeah. and Green Lantern. Green Lantern is such a good property, but they just fucked it up, and the stuff in space was terrible. So I want a good space opera. I want it to be like a new kind of Star Wars-ish thing.
Yeah, I'm excited because I think it's Marvel's riskiest movie to date. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge comic book reader, but I knew who Thor and Captain America and Iron Man was, even though they weren't like A-list properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Guardians, I hadn't even heard of it all, and then I went and did the research. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why I'm more excited, because that just shows that they can make this really successful. Then they can really go into the depths of their properties and make an even bigger universe. I mean, they have movies planned till 2028, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Peter?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't familiar with Guardians either, but knowing that James Gunn was taking the property and doing both the writing and the directing, that really excited me. I mean, you know, he did the reboot of Dawn of the Dead. He did the Scooby-Doo movies, which, I mean, yeah, that's not something to brag about, but it does show that they can trust him with a big proproperty.
He did the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
Sorry?
You say he did the remake of Dawn of the Dead?
He did the script for it. He did the animation.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Zack Snyder. Huh?
Snyder that did it. Yeah,
okay.
But it was on his script. Yeah, so since then I've sat in chapters and read some of the Guardians comics and not paid for them, because that's how I roll. And no, I'm excited for it, man. Everything I've seen for this movie has made me more and more interested, and they're showing a lot right now. Like, I was worried that they were going to overdo it on the stuff they show in the trailers, and worried, you know, that same old rule of they showed all the good parts in the trailer. But thus far, I'm happy with everything I've seen, and all the little clips they've shown look hilarious. And yeah, Rocket and Groot, man, I'm really excited. I mean, when I heard Vin Diesel was involved, I kind of it took a step back, but then I thought about Iron Giant, and I mean, it's not like he has to say anything brilliant, you know, he's not giving out like Shakespeare dialogue, he's saying 3 words, and even the Bradley Cooper thing I wasn't 100% about, but now that I'm seeing all his stuff, it looks amazing. So yeah, I'm totally excited for this as well. And if I can't see it Thursday, then I'll probably be seeing it Sunday afternoon at the latest. So yeah, man.
Another film that he's done that people forget about. The thing that actually kind of makes me okay with Gunn for this is like, does anyone remember Super? Like people.
Is that the one with the superheroes with the cage?
Yeah. It's like it's fun. You know what I mean?
Did you see everyone like this when I said Ellen Page as if like she's like a child?
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's very tiny. Sorry, I don't know why I did that as a descriptor, but.
Yeah, but that I mean, like I liked that, but it didn't get a lot of play, a lot of hype. Not a lot of people saw it, but it was a fun flick. So I really think if he can translate that into like this Marvel universe, I think it's gonna be awesome.
And they've already confirmed Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for July 2016, but now it's 17, which I don't want them to rush it. And James Gunn is confirmed to
direct and write. Yeah,
because I like that. Like, because the first few Marvel movies, it seemed like nobody was coming back for a director, and yeah, you want a different kind of tone. But I'm glad that they got the Russo guys back on Captain America 2.
Definitely, that's
awesome.
The best.
Yeah, at this point, they have to with those two guys.
And now James Gunn for Guardians. So.
Yeah. Well, with that, I mean, we're already talking about information given to us at Comic-Con, so should we just get into Talk of the Town?
Talk of the Town it is.
I wish, this is our first video thing, so we don't have, the little things and jingles and, Talk of the Town. All right, now we're in it. All right, good.
I hope our faces make up for it, viewing audience. We apologize.
All right. So obviously Comic-Con just happened this past weekend. So it wasn't huge, I would say. Like the news that came out of it this time wasn't huge. We'll get a little bit more into that, but Guardians 2. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Marvel versus DC because that's kind of the challenge always kind of going into Comic-Con. All right, and I think they announced Guardians 2. They got Brolin out there as Thanos, with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. Infinity Gauntlet on.
And other than that, they screened a little bit of footage. Nobody's really seen it, but from what I hear, it's the Avengers in Stark Tower, talking. They're all having a party, and then stuff starts going down, and that's the cut, right? So alluding to. Ultron, and they had everybody there. But other than that, not that much from Marvel. I feel like I don't know. What do you guys think? What were you guys looking for? I was looking for a bit more. I wanted to see. I don't know. I wanted to see more footage for sure.
Yeah.
And they're flat.
I'll go ahead. Yeah, I wanted to see the same thing. I mean, the poster they showed us is cool, and it gives you an idea of what they're dealing with. Yeah, it's really awesome. But at the same time, I want to see some footage. I want to see, I want to know what's going on. They're early enough, or they're far enough into the filming process that we should be able to see something. I mean, they had that with Guardians last year. That's how they got that trailer of them walking into the prison and everything like that. They had shot it pretty much that week to guarantee that they had it. So. I don't know, but
I was really expecting to see for them to really showcase their new characters. You know what I mean? All they did with Vision was he was in the background of the poster, and then with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, again they just kind of showed up. Aaron Taylor Johnson was there looking muscly, but other than that,
they're in the same poses we've seen them in basically.
Aaron Taylor Johnson showing up muscular. I'm like, boom, ticket bought. That does it for me.
I don't know. I want to see them in some action. I wanted a trailer, a legit trailer.
Yeah. At least some kind of quick tape.
They did with Godzilla or something. Don't show much, but just get us hooked a little bit. Yeah, that would have been good. You dropped the ball, Marvel. Jesus. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but then you got DC, and DC, I would say. I think my personal opinion probably won this Comic-Con, but again, still not that much. I wanted to see who was going to be in the Justice League, who is actually in Justice League movie. But But the one thing that they did do, I don't know if you guys saw it. It leaked a little bit on YouTube. There was it just dribbled. Was the Superman versus Batman, like it was like a weird little teaser, and that was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool.
Describe this to us.
Yeah.
Place in this preview.
So basically, what happens? So it's Batman, and Batman lights up the bat symbol, and it's like a super boxy. It's like I'm not crazy about the super boxy bat symbol that they're using now. Like they're using like the old, like really old bat symbol, which really, and it only has the little nubs at the top. Where if you broadcast that and blew it up into the sky, it would just be a rectangle. Like it wouldn't be a bat symbol. You know. Anyways.
I really want them to have that bat symbol like every 5 minutes in that movie just to drive you insane. Like it's the biggest plot point of the movie.
Anyways, Batman's standing beside it, and he's in like the bat armor, like the big like he looks like Iron Man. He's got the like white eyes. It's like he's really big, bulky, and like it's armor. It's like full on like Bat Knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From like the Dark Knight like story. Anyways, so he lights it up, and then you look up to where the bat symbol is, and floating there is Superman, right? And his eyes start glowing red. And he's just kind of gliding towards him. Last cut is back to Ben Affleck, just like staring. Just looks like he's kind of prepping, you know, like just getting ready to go. And that's it. That's the, and then the logo comes up.
Yeah, when you said about the armor and everything like that, somebody had showed me photos from it. They didn't show me the whole video, but they just showed me the like photos. So it was his eyes glowing and Superman's eyes glowing. So that's all I saw.
It looks like Batman does in the new Arkham games, like just bulkier than he's ever been before.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they have him set up to be like he's almost like an Iron Man now. Well, in this footage, he's like it's like in Iron Man 1 when he builds the whole the whole
getup.
Iron Man suit, yeah, for himself, which is it's cool. I like to see I'd like to see that aspect of Batman being like this, kind of billionaire, builds most of his own stuff and like is this big detective. But anyways, we'll see. It looked good. It did look cool. And then obviously there was the release of the first Wonder Woman image.
That I'm more excited about. Gal Gadot, I think she looks fantastic as Wonder Woman. What do you think?
She looks hot. I'll give her that. She looks like a smoke show. It's pretty good. It's as kind of warrior-ish as you're gonna get, like Amazon lady. It's like a pretty brown color palette all over. It's kind of but it's good. I think it's as good as you can do. I mean, Wonder Woman is a tricky thing. Like it's gonna be weird to bring her. Like, is she gonna have a fucking lasso of truth? Like. That's weird.
Are they gonna do it the way they did in the comic books, where it's pretty much just like bondage every issue, where it's her tying guys up and they're okay with it? Like it's just like.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, I'd be in for that. I'd be totally in for that.
Yeah. They just exchange the sword for like a paddle.
Yeah.
Did you guys like Man of Steel? Me neither. But there's no way I'm not showing up opening day for this.
Oh, for sure.
Like I'm still skeptical of it, but I'm so
Although
excited.
This is very similar to like did you like Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2? Well, no, I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I liked it better than the first one. Just like I like Man of Steel better than Superman Returns. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're gonna have some words here, Duder.
I think.
No, I didn't. You're fucking not listening to me.
Really like either.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a good movie. I'm saying it's a better movie than the first one.
And I still disagree with it.
Okay.
I hated the Tobey Maguire versions, though. I'm
What?
vocal about the fact that Spider-Man 2 was okay. I hate Tobey Maguire. I find him a terrible actor. All I can see is him acting really, really hard. Like,
you really can't suspend the Maguire-ness just to get to the fact that we're seeing
Spider-Man with the movie. No, like
I think Spider-Man 2 by far is the best Spider-Man that
far and away the best one, for sure.
Voice, but they make him do the voiceover in every movie. Like the very first Spider-Man, it's like, do you want to know who I am? Do you really? It's like, we know who you are. We came to see fucking Spider-Man, man. Just get on with it. God damn it, who wrote this thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but like Spider-Man 2, like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was just a mess. Like tonally, it was like a cartoon at the beginning, and then it's supposed to be like a romance, and then it's like, and like just the character. I mean, look, you had Paul Giamatti, like he was like
the worst part of an already shitty movie.
Paul Giamatti was like Wario. You know what I mean? Like he took his inspiration from Wario.
I think I heard this on like another review show, but like they were talking about the fact that Oscorp now builds all these different like suits of armor for people. Is no villain going to get an origin story anymore? It's going to be like, you're going to be Doc Ock, here's some wings for you, you'll be the Vulture, and now go rob banks for me. Like, there's no interesting backstories anymore.
No.
They don't
have the backstory with Electro was that he just got bit by he's bit by a radioactive eel now.
And then Electro's like, oh, you don't remember me the one time. Fuck you. And then, like, tear shit apart. Doesn't make sense.
That part I hate it. How Electro came to be, that was fucking god-awful. Like, the fact that he fell through that, like, electric shit and then fell into electric eels. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. Like, there's so many... Like, think of how good Dr. Manhattan coming together was in Watchmen. Like... You do anything. You could really, like, you're making the same character. It's Dr. Manhattan, only you're calling it Electro, and it's in a Spider-Man movie is essentially what that was. And you have a black guy playing him, but doesn't matter.
I think dude is just upset that Jamie Foxx, you didn't see Electro's dick. So in every frame of the movie, I just think that's where his anger stems from about that movie.
Brian, if you're going to give all your fantasies in this show, this isn't the show for that, all right, bud?
The show for that. I'm sorry, guys.
All right. So bottom line, Marvel or DC? Who won? Who won Comic-Con with their news?
DC won for Comic-Con, but Marvel's gonna win at everything else.
Yeah, I'll say the same.
Fair enough. Well, okay. There was other things at Comic-Con.
Was there?
Obviously, the Hobbit trailer. Let's talk about that quickly. What's the third one called? The Battle of the Five Armies?
Yeah. No, Five Armies,
Battle of the Five Armies trailer dropped. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings are my favorite movies ever, and I can't help feel like every time I watch the Hobbit trailers, I'm just like, can anything be filmed on a real set anymore? Like, does everything need to be on screen? Like, does everything need to be CGI? It's good CGI, but it's CGI nonetheless. Like,
it's Peter Jackson. That's kind of his thing.
I know, but it's like he's going the George Lucas route, and I don't like it. Like,
well, they are prequels.
Yeah. Hollywood, stop making prequels to anything, please.
I don't mind it. I see the Hobbit, like the first one. What was the name of the first Hobbit movie?
The Hobbit.
Oh, Unexpected Journey.
Yep.
That one was like slow as hell. I saw it with the high frame rate. It was ridiculous. And then there was so much singing, and my feeling about Lord of the Rings in general is that they might as well just be called Let's Walk, Hold On, Here's a Problem, Let's Walk Some More.
Yeah, I knew Brian was going to do that. It's fucking hilarious.
The first one was like the first Hobbit movie was like that. But Desolation of Smaug I thought it really took it up a notch. It really was a lot better. I liked when it got, when you finally got to see Smaug. He was super
let's
fun.
Keep the pronunciations consistent, guys.
Yeah, he was like really menacing and evil, and I wanted to see more from him. And then in this trailer, it looks like all bets are off, war's on, let's go. You see all these different armies getting ready to go. It looks like it's going to be chaos, which is what I want to see in the last one. You know what I mean? The problem that I had, with Return of the King was that, like, I really thought, like, all the best war and all the best, like, excitement happened in the Two Towers in the second Lord of the Rings, and in the third film, you had, like, everybody talks about this, but like the 8 like false endings, everything was resolved with 40 minutes left to go in the movie, you know. And so it really, like, in terms of like climax and the third film being like kind of the like everything crescendoing, I'm hoping that Peter Jackson's learned from that, and this film we're crescendoing to a big climactic finish for The Hobbit.
I hope so. And also in Return of the King, by the time Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli show up, other than like them fighting like one of the Mummicles, the battle's already like mostly done. The Ghost Army just comes in, it's done in 2 minutes. It's like you swung your sword a couple times. Thanks for your contribution.
Boom.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. What else is going on in the news, guys?
All right. So let's start moving away from this because we still got a lot of stuff to do. We got okay. Last thing. Basically, to wrap up Comic-Con, I thought not too much big happened. We didn't hear any Star Wars news. That was a huge bummer. No Fantastic Four stuff.
Did you see though? It wasn't like a Comic-Con slip, but there was a set photo of the like bust that they had of the Thing.
I saw that. Looks good.
Looks cool.
I haven't seen it.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be
What's it
weird.
look like?
I mean, it doesn't look like Michael Chiklis in a fucking Kool-Aid costume like he was in the last one.
It doesn't look like the classic 1994 Roger Corman one, so I'm pretty sure that's a good thing. So,
but it's just, I guess,
praise, guys.
You don't see it in context of somebody standing next to it, so it could just be, I don't know. It looked good from what I saw.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now until I see it myself. Speaking of things that look weird and are big, next week we've got Ninja Turtles being released. How good do you think this is going to do? Is it going to take out Guardians for top spot at the box office, or do you think Guardians is going to hang in there and take a dent out of the Ninja Turtles?
It depends on how well Guardians does its first weekend and how well the word of mouth about it goes. I think, like, because they're essentially chasing close to the same audience. Like, everyone can go to both of these movies. It's not like Dark Knight Rises versus Avengers a few years back where half the audience can't go to Dark Knight Rises because it's PG-13. These ones are all PG, or both PG, I believe, or whatever. Anyways.
No, they were still PG-13, the Avengers and Guardians.
But what about, Batman?
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyways, they're going for the same audience, so it'll come down to people saying, no, go see Guardians to their friends, as opposed to go see this new god-awful shit Ninja Turtles.
I know it's going to be bad. I still want to see Ninja Turtles. It's going to be mindless fun.
Yeah.
I do think Ninja Turtles is going to win next weekend, though. Because
Really?
Guardians, as big as Marvel is, it's still their first movie out. I feel like Guardians is going to do, like, the way the first Captain America made, like, 180 domestic, and then Captain America 2 has done, like, 260 because word of mouth has spread, Avengers got so big. I feel like Guardians is probably going to do 70 million-ish opening weekend. And then it's going to go down to like 40-something second weekend, and Ninja Turtles can easily do over 50.
Yeah,
I think it's going to hold on really well. It's not going to be like a disappointment at all, but it's not going to be big enough to, I think, hold the second weekend.
Yeah, it'll be close for sure, though. I don't think that.
13.
Oh, can I say something about Ninja Turtles that I just found out about? There was a minor controversy because for one of the international...
I'm flaring up here.
Yeah, sorry, viewing audience. This is unfortunate that you have to see this.
All right, go ahead.
Much better.
I'm going to fix this.
For the international poster for Ninja Turtles, I think for like Sweden or something, it's the Ninja Turtles flying out of a building and like a big explosion happened at the top of the building. And at the very bottom, because it's being released that day, it says September 11th. And there's been a bunch of controversy about them like being disrespectful to what happened that day. And I'm like, I don't think they were thinking about it, but am I a bad person for laughing at it nonetheless?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I accept this. I think it's funny.
It's more, how do you miss that, though? How do you miss a building falling down with the words 9/11 or September 11th underneath?
And then it says, the tagline is never forget.
Never forget. A picture of Bin Laden, wanted, underneath that.
Okay,
like,
now you just
like the boys are back. You know
Oh, I love it.
Get ready for shell shock. Heyo.
Our ratings just dip so quickly, guys.
It's all right. I don't think you don't get ratings on the Ninja or wait on this. All right. Damn, that flares more. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna flare, guys. I'm gonna flare. It's our first one. Okay, so last thing, quickly, the 50 Shades of Grey trailer.
Yes.
God awful.
Terrible.
The worst part is the idea that they keep saying that they're going to downplay the sex. What else is this film except for, sex for soccer moms? Like, what else does this film or story have going for it?
Absolutely nothing.
You know what it originally was? Do you know that it was originally Twilight fan fiction and then someone adapted it? That's so fucking ridiculous to me.
What is it about these novels that are written by that are specifically for women? Why do they have to be so awful? They pretty much just manipulate women's emotions. Like Twilight is about the importance of having a boyfriend, letting yourself be stalked. It's okay because he's dreamy. And 50 Shades of Grey is like, I have no personality and you can do whatever you want to me, tie me up because you're so handsome. Like, can anyone actually have a personality in these stories? Like, is that possible?
I gotta meet that girl.
All right. All right, good on that. Let's move on to our Plead the Fifth. I am pissed off that there was no Star Wars news, but I am excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. So we're doing space, the final frontier. So we're gonna Plead the Fifth. Do you want to see your Plead shit? That thing.
If.
All right. On space movies. So all right, yes. Okay, you gotta say something so the camera switches to you if you're.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. La-di-da-di-da. I forgot that I have to be speaking, and we're good.
All right, we got it. So let's do our 5 space movies. As the guest, you get to go. You get to go first.
I think we can all agree that we all probably have one movie that we share in common, though, right?
Yeah. Star Wars doesn't count.
Star Wars.
The whole trilogy.
Man. Yeah. No. Okay. Well, that was one of my choices. Obviously, 1977. That was a pretty big deal. Changed everything. So we'll just set aside that. You all know the story. One I'm going to list is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Of course.
I'm not going to pretend I understand half of what's going on in that movie. I'm not smart enough for that. I don't do drugs. I'm sure I would if I did. But that just changed everything. That also took place. That movie came out a year before they actually went to the moon. Like, they didn't know what this stuff looked like, and that's how much of a fanatic Stanley Kubrick is, that he was able to get a lot of this stuff right, even though nobody actually knew what space looked like yet or what it was like up there. So that's one.
I do drugs, and I hate that movie.
It's not one of those movies I'll put on like, oh, I've got 2.5 hours to kill. What am I going to put on? I don't know. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'll give it that. I'm going to go with Star Trek, the 2009 reboots.
Yeah, the reboot.
I'm not a big Star Trek fan of the other ones, but this was just a lot of fun, very much in the same vein of Star Wars. Makes sense because J.J. Abrams actually doesn't like Star Trek. Mm-hmm. So this was just audition tape for the Star Wars Episode 7.
Essentially, yeah.
I'm not a huge Star Trek fan myself, but Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock have a place. They have a place, but they're not on my list.
Everyone keeps saying I gotta watch Wrath of Khan. I'll get to it. I'm gonna go with Apollo 13.
Boom.
I love that movie.
Great film.
Especially the 5-minute scene of showing how Tom Hanks pees in space. That was
very enjoyable.
It's a very enjoyable movie. And it's my number 1, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. The first Alien. Yes.
Yeah,
that's
on my list.
It is a terrifying movie.
That's on my list. That would be my number 1 as well.
I was thinking I should have put Gravity, but I'm like, the Alien and that are kind of trying to do the same thing, make space terrifying, but it's obviously one's nature and one's a monster, but I just think Alien's way more effective at the tension and scaring the crap out of people. So
absolutely.
So that's my top 5,
most
guys.
Suspenseful flicks ever.
Oh man, it still holds up. It's still terrifying to this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Do you go or should I?
The best space tagline of all time, right?
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear you scream. That's like one of the best taglines ever.
That's one of the best taglines in a movie ever, basically.
Yeah.
Besides, never forget. I think like right below that, no one in space don't get escape. It's a close second, but. All right, who's next?
All right, Mark, you want to give us your 5?
Yeah, sure. So as Brian said, Alien. That's on my list as well. Next up, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
So good.
Oh.
I thought you would like that one. I thought you'd like that one. I'm going to hurt myself by saying Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
I think there's 2 minutes of that in space.
It's alright. It's like based on Moonraker.
They're on the fucking moon. They go to space. They're on the fucking moon. Silly one, but I still kind of like it. Contact. I hate Jodie Foster. I hate her to death. But Matt McConaughey is actually pretty good in that, and it's a really well done film, and it's pretty cool.
You gotta love it.
Yeah. And then my last one is the original Superman from '72. The whole first half hour of the film takes place on Krypton, so yeah.
Not gonna be that fact checker guy. I just don't want people blogging like came out in '78. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Oh, you did come out. Sorry, I'm an asshole.
No, it's not. I'm just trying to let them. I want the fans to know that we know, so they don't have to tell us.
All right, fair enough.
Did anyone put Space Chimps on their list?
Space Chimps.
I was gonna put Rocket Man with Harlan Williams, where he goes to Mars and he sleeps in the chimp one. And he's sitting there
Superman 1978.
Yeah.
If this was a top 6 list, I definitely think Adventures of Pluto Nash would be up there as well, guys. Let's never forget that.
No, let's.
That was the tagline for that movie as
all
well.
Right, so since you guys took all the good ones, I'm going to say just stupid ones because it's supposed to be comedic, and all yours were all good. Like, you took all the best ones. So I'm left with this shitty 5. Number 1, Space Jam.
Yes.
Space Jam is super fun. It was like it's a great moment when you were a kid. Like, the NBA was in its prime then, you know what I mean? And like, so was like wearing, you know, all the, do you remember those sweaters with like, you know, Taz and Bugs Bunny, and they were all gangster? That was like the height of Looney Tunes and the NBA. So perfect. And in space, boom.
Your shitty list is off to a great start so far.
I like it.
It's a great movie.
By the way, you can still go to spacejam.com, and the original website is still up.
You know you can actually do that with Battlefield Earth as well. By the way, we should have included that. Battlefield Earth.
Definitely.
No, that's not it.
Number 2 on my list, Moon. Have you guys seen
great movie. God damn it.
Sam Rockwell, he's just the man. He's one of my favorite actors, and like I think he's on everybody's list as like one of the most underrated actors. But when he's in something, and this is like, I can't really think of another one where he is like, it's him and he is the lead. So I was super pumped to see it when I did see it, and then it's a wicked film. If you guys haven't seen Moon,
and Duncan Jones is an awesome director.
Definitely.
And I fell asleep getting head watching that movie.
And
subtle plug.
that can improve your viewing pleasure, Moon, folks. Put that on your list, and next time you see it, you can be like, hey, McNally was getting a Hummer. All right. Next one, since we, this is probably my last decent movie that's on it. And it's fairly recent, obviously, Gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity, an awesome film. I don't think we need to go too much into it.
I got head to that movie as well.
Yeah, I think so did George Clooney. You know, I mean, it's just those two.
He can't watch himself on screen unless he's getting a blowjob.
I think it's safe to say he just gets in every movie he's on.
He just watches his movies while fucking supermodels.
Exactly.
But he's never looking at them. So.
Doing the American Psycho in the mirror.
Yeah. All right. Next film. We were talking a bit about the relationship between space and drugs. So heavy metal I put on my list. A good chunk of it does take place in space dragon-like atmospheres. So I'm going to include that.
Space and dragon-like atmospheres.
There's lots.
I didn't realize there was anything in common with those two, but
Yeah,
I
acid.
haven't seen the movie. I can't comment, guys. But
That's what's in common is LSD. That's what they have in common.
And my last one, since we did have it last week, I feel like this could be a running gag. Howard the Duck. I'm gonna find a way to put Howard the Duck in every top 5 that I do. I think Howard the Duck, great. I mean, it doesn't take place too much in space, but obviously there's a space element.
I've never seen Howard the Duck, and everyone says it's so god awful. I need to check this out.
It's so god awful. It's fun. You know what I mean? And it's still Lucas. It's Marvel's first. It's Marvel's first film. It's the first adaptation of a Marvel comic.
Does Marvel own the rights again to that character? Do you think we're gonna get a gritty reboot of it? Like, is that one of their films planned for 2017?
On the podcast whenever the last one came out, there is a hint that Howard the Duck may end up in Guardians.
Seriously?
Yeah. In a weird cameo, because at the very end. Sorry, this could be a spoiler, but
guys, come on.
Anyways, this could be a spoiler. I haven't seen the film yet, but it says in the end of the credits, which was leaked, that the character Howard the Duck is property of Marvel, whatever. So I have a feeling it could just be a poster. Peter Quill is from the 80s, right? So there could be some reference to it. But anyways,
that would be insane.
We'll see what happens. It would be hilarious. I would love personally if he just popped out of nowhere.
If Howard the Duck actually shows up, then all bets are off. Like Marvel can start doing R-rated comic book movies.
If there was a Howard I just want a moment with Howard and Rocket, just just giving each other shit. And that's it. Okay, so that's the list. That's our Plead the Fifth, guys. Look, we have a comment section now. Comment below. Give us your 5, some alien movies, space movies that you guys loved. Just toss them down there in the shit below. We can do this now. It's amazing. YouTube. All right. Last thing.
Keep it clean though, guys. Okay. You know what? Let's not be like every other YouTube video.
Yeah. All right. What's our last thing there, Marky?
Finally, we got Village Idiot, and I picked it this week, and I'm happy about this pick. Chuck Palahniuk, the writer of Fight Club, as well as Choke, and what's the other one? Snuff is the other one that's coming out as well. He is apparently doing something he said he would never do. He is making a sequel to Fight Club. It'll be a graphic novel or comic book for the layman like Brian. And, yeah, so I think he's an idiot for doing that. The movie ends pretty perfectly. There's no reason to revisit characters that are essentially not around anymore. But, hey, who am I? I don't own that property.
Yeah, I don't know. Fight Club just makes money. I could see them. They'll reboot anything. If there's, a sequel that I don't know. If they're remaking Mrs. Doubtfire, at least Fight Club is no, I know. But, at least there is, a little bit of, at least Fight Club is a little more of a credible film. I don't know.
And also, I'm not saying that graphic novels are a lesser art form, but it's not going to be going to the masses. It's not the same amount of audience that you would get if you made an actual sequel to a Fight Club as a movie. Right now, it's its own little thing right now. Maybe it's great, and they can actually do a sequel to it, but if it's not great, then it's never going to see the light of day.
I think it's inevitable. I think if there is a Fight Club 2, they'll put it on screen. I think anything
for sure.
Just to get it.
I think they're already Fox is already trying to lock up the rights, but also it just seems because the original material was a novel. I think they're doing the graphic novel thing because they know they can push it as that and kind of I don't know how you call it, shoehorn it into that way. Whatever, fuck you. Railroad, I don't know what the fuck the phrase is. Anyways, it seems annoying to me that they're doing this, but whatever, it's true. He owns the property. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. And I guess where I've heard the story's going kind of makes sense, but it's still ridiculous.
Fair enough. Well, That's it, I guess. I mean, that's pretty much the show.
Yeah.
Mr. Jansen, thanks for coming out today. Good to have you on, bud.
Yes.
Brian Jansen, he's a comedian here in Toronto. If you are in Toronto, come out and see all of us. You can follow us all on Twitter as well. Are you on Twitter?
I am, but
I don't even think I follow you. Anyway,
I've sent 6 tweets in 2 years, guys. I'm not as active as I should be.
fair enough. But you should go see Brian Jansen around. You can see me on Twitter at Reem himself. You can follow Marky. Go ahead, Mark.
At Duder McNarly. And also, all 3 of us will be at the Imperial Pub next Monday, August the 4th. I'll be hosting. Both these boys have spots, so come check us out.
Yeah!
By the way, quick note, if you're ever applying to a place where Mark works, don't say you know Duder McNarly.
Yeah.
Just what I did last week.
I mean, I'll make fun of you more at the next 2 shows we're doing, especially on the 4th, but yes, don't assume that you know somebody's name, especially if they have a nickname. I don't know. Whatever.
Long story, I'm just trying to let the audience know I'm an idiot. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
No
Sorry,
worries.
I knocked that.
Fair enough, guys. Hey, thanks for checking us out. If you've actually watched this till now, which is amazing. You know, we're just gonna get better from here. Obviously, we're not using the mics that we used before. Everything's gonna just start developing. We're gonna get little things up here that say names and little jingles and all kinds of shit. So keep your eyes right here. Comment below, give us some likes so we know you like the video, and we'll keep it up, all right? So, from the Real Idiots, Reem, Jansen, you know, you're in now. I mean, you're in part of the group. I mean, like in general.
We're like the frat pack of comedy now.
There's a lot of, you know, if you're on the show once, you're part of the, you're an idiot.
And it will only be once, guys, from what they've told me.
And Mark's over there. Say bye, Mark.
Jansen is an idiot. Stay real, bitches.
Bye, guys.